What's up, guys? This is Stephen Lee. I'm here to make another episode on my YouTube channel. I'm going to be talking about, sharing my thoughts on this whole Nick Fuentes subpoena thing for the January 6th, and just even talking about what's been going on just the past week or so ever since Nick Fuentes got subpoenaed. Well, first of all, just to give a little brief context of what's going on. So last year on January 6th, 2021, Nick Fuentes and a whole bunch of America First supporters, they went to the Capitol on January 6th to protest the election. Basically, they're saying and all that. So they were saying they cheated, like the Democrats obviously cheated. We're gonna try and go there. We're gonna protest. We're gonna you know just basically just as make our voices heard. We're gonna make sure we let the government know there was fraud. And so then this whole January 6th debacle protest happened, all that stuff, blah 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 blah. But the main thing I want to talk about is, why I don't think, Nick Fuentes should have been subpoenaed. Because first of all, what wrong? Has Nick Fuentes done anything wrong that would be damaging? Did he actually harm or threaten to kill anybody? Why the hell is Nick Fuentes going through so much hell right now with not only the subpoena, but also he went through that much hell with he's put on the no-fly list. He obviously there's several these organizations, these bank organizations, whatever you want to call it, Bitcoin, PayPal, and other they won't even let Nick Fuentes open up a bank account. His bank account is probably blocked or something. These these initial technology, these finance banking companies, they won't even let Nick Fuentes open an account. It's just so bad. Nick Fuentes has to go through that much hell just to really fight for conservatism, in the United States. And just and just the fact that he got blocked from these e-commerce services, even Venmo just blocked him from showing his bank account. It's why is Nick Fuentes why are Nick Fuentes and even other conservatives, other America First conservatives, why are they getting censored for just even sharing the truth? It's we need people believe it or not, we need people like Nick Fuentes representing our conservative movement, because people like Fuentes are really wanting to go after the real issues surrounding our nation, and then they usually get censored for it, because reality is they are a threat to the corrupt establishment in Washington D.C. Whereas a lot of the mainstream conservatives, they don't really do anything. I mean, what has Charlie Kirk or Turning Point USA or Ben Shapiro or Yap, what have all these mainstream conservatives have done to actually fight for conservatism in the United States? What have they done to fight against the establishment system? Have they actually done more to fight for conservatism than Nick Fuentes has? Come on. And also, even I want to talk about, it's not just even related to Nick Fuentes, but also I just need to talk about Alex Jones too. Alex Jones, his YouTube channel InfoWars got taken down. And so conservatives like Trump, Fuentes, Alex Jones, and even others that are getting suppressed, like John Doyle and Tucker Carlson on Fox News, they're getting held up. Real conservatives are getting censored left and right. And you want to know why? Because the establishment, they're afraid. They're afraid of the energy. They're afraid of this energetic patriotism that America First conservatives have displayed. And just so, my honest thoughts are, I don't think Nick Fuentes didn't have to go through so much hell. But he did. He's still fighting for conservatism in the United States. And a lot of the mainstream conservatives, they just want to keep repeating the same old things while offering no real-time solutions. Like, come on. Honestly, I just don't think Nick Fuentes deserves to go through all that hell, but he does, but he's going to go through all that hell anyways, because he wants to fight for us real America First conservatives, and he is right. He's literally carrying the work that people like Pat Buchanan have passed down to. Like, this is just crazy. This is just crazy, honestly, and so I just want to say to you, encourage all my viewers that are watching, just pray for Nick Fuentes, pray that everything will go well in court, and just like, I sincerely hope that, all of us here, that Nick Fuentes can get all the support that he needs. Because Nick Fuentes has been fighting for us for like, how many years? Like 3 years? 4 years? And it's so important that we, as America First conservatives, now have to support the one who has been fighting for us, the one who really has been fighting to say, like, oh, we need to put America first. And to all, I want to say just even things to like, say some things to the mainstream conservatives like Turning Point USA, Young America's Foundation, Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro, all the Con Inc. conservatives. Where the hell were you? Where the hell were you when you were needed the most to fight for conservatism? Where were you? While conservatives like Nick Fuentes, while America First conservatives like Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones have been getting censored, what have you been doing? What have you guys been doing while the liberals have just been gaining ground in this culture war here in America? Like, come on. What are you guys doing? You're doing nothing. You guys are literally being no different than those establishment Republicans that real conservatives like myself have been working to fight against. And the fact that a lot of you guys just are too little too late. You guys have been smearing Nick Fuentes for years and years and years. I'm talking to people like you, Charlie Kirk. You guys have been, all you conning people like Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro, you guys have been smearing Nick Fuentes as falsely. You smeared Nick Fuentes and America First Groypers falsely, calling them racist, white supremacist, bigots, and anti-Semitic people. Like, you falsely smeared us that when we've been fighting for true conservatism here in America. You falsely smeared us for wanting to fight for our country first. You falsely smeared us for saying that maybe like this mass immigration thing has to stop, and for wanting to preserve, and you call us bigots for wanting to preserve traditional Christian morality in our nation. And you guys are, look at you guys. You guys are so privileged, sitting in your comfy chairs, just spouting off the same ideas to your viewers over and over and over again, while people like Nick Fuentes have to go through so much hell to fight for the truth here in this country, to really fight for conservatism in the United States. Nick Fuentes and conservatives like him have a future, while the same old talking points that you guys have been spewing are dying. The GOP establishment is dying. And therefore, I can just safely conclude that we cannot keep on using the same old GOP establishment talking points to win America's culture war. Conservatives really need to stand up and fight for true conservatism in America. And Nick Fuentes, I strongly am confident that Nick Fuentes is one of the people leading the charge for conservatism here in the United States of America. This just proves that Nick Fuentes is the future for conservatism in the United States. Like, I wholeheartedly stand with Nick Fuentes. I wholeheartedly stand with America First conservatives. I will say this: screw the liberals, screw the liberals, obviously, but also screw Conservative Inc., screw the globalists, and screw the establishment left and right. You guys have done nothing, and you guys are only doing nothing but ruining our country. You're ruining this country, just voting away our values. Our values are going away because you guys have chosen to do nothing but allow America's values to decline. And so I just want to say, to Nick Fuentes, if there's one thing I want to say to Nick Fuentes, I want to say this: Nick Fuentes, thank you so much. Nick Fuentes, thank you so much for fighting for real conservatism. Thank you so much for being one of those people that really wants to fight to put America and its people first. I'm sorry that it seems like we've let you down. I'm sorry that a lot of us haven't noticed is the hell that you've been going through just to fight for us America First conservatives. Just thank you just for paving the way just to expose the corruption in our government and to expose like a lot of the things that are wrong with the state of our country right now. And honestly, Nick Fuentes, I'm praying for you. I will pray for you that God will protect you. I pray that, Nick Fuentes, I pray that God's hand will be on you as you go into trial in that court for what happened last year on January 6th. And I pray, it's basically God's wisdom will guide you through everything, Nick. Yeah, I mean, and that's pretty much it. And also, like, I just even want to say, like, I'm actually glad. But I also even want to talk about, too, the March for Life in D.C. Like, I'm actually glad the March Against Abortion is taking place. Hey, it's like, we need to stand up against abortion. And I'm also glad seeing, like, there's some America First presence at the March for Life for D.C. fighting against abortion. Like, abortion is the biggest issue in America that we have chosen to ignore. And the fact that we've allowed millions and millions of unborn babies to be slaughtered is just not okay. And I sincerely hope that Roe v. Wade will be overturned. And so, I'm kind of sad I didn't go to the march, but, like, I heard, like, the march, I heard that, today's attendance for, like, the March for Life event in DC, I heard it was, like a big crowd or something. It's like, well, there's still many people in America that care about this issue, that care about, the fact that there are lots of babies dying, and that we need to fight to end abortion in this country. So that's basically it. I mean, like, there's just been a lot of there's just been so much interesting stuff that happened this weekend, and I pray that we as conservatives, we can continue to fight for conservative values in America. I pray that we as conservatives are still continuing to fight, wherever we are, when it comes to, like, it's like vaccine mandates, whether it be fighting against abortion or fighting for, like, to preserve our traditional Christian values. I pray that we as conservatives, we can come together and just really fight to see actual, good change in this country, and that our country can change for the better. This year, this is going to be the year where we fight. And I pray and hope that we will have a strong red wave year this midterm election. Thank you.